child, let me tell you all what's been happening in this wild and heartbreaking case of 19-year-old Dacara Thompson. People in the neighborhood are straight up terrified because many now believe this might not be the only time something like this has happened. And the man at the center of it all, Hugo Hernandez-Mendez. Some folks are saying that Dacara's case might just be one of many, because what the police found in his room is making everybody's skin crawl. Baby, when investigators went inside his place, they didn't just find the regular mess you'd expect in someone's room. No, they allegedly uncovered several pairs of women's underwear and lingerie. And here's the creepy part. People are whispering that these weren't just random clothes. They could be trophies, like items kept from different women. Now, if you're already side-eyeing Hugo, imagine how people in that neighborhood feel, knowing that there have been other women who've gone missing in the area. Suddenly, what was already scary starts looking like something much darker. And listen, the neighbors aren't keeping quiet about this either. One man named Cody, who lives right next door, stepped outside in the early morning hours of August 23rd, and what he saw shook him to the core. He says he spotted something burning in Hugo's backyard. But hold up, it didn't smell like wood or brush fire. Cody swears it smelled more like trash or something unusual, almost like somebody trying to burn evidence. And you know what's worse? He told detectives about it and later noticed that the ash pile he saw back there had completely disappeared. Now, baby, if that doesn't scream suspicious, I don't know what does. But that's not the only thing making people side-eye this situation. Because remember, Dacara was inside that house the night she lost her life. And a lot of folks are asking the same question. How did nobody else in that small house hear anything? You mean to tell me this young girl was in a struggle so bad that she ended up gone and nobody heard her screaming or fighting? She was found nude, not wrapped up in anything, which means if she fought back, there should have been noises coming from that room. People aren't buying the idea that everyone else in the house just slept peacefully through it. And to make things even more suspicious, one of the roommates actually admitted to hearing something. They said they overheard Dacara and Hugo having what sounded like intercourse, but then they heard these strange grunting noises that didn't sound right at all, like maybe one of them wasn't a willing participant. That's the kind of detail that makes you stop and think, was this really what it looked like on the surface, or was something much more sinister going down? Now, baby, if you thought things couldn't get any more twisted, let me tell you about the other people living in that house. Because the more investigators started asking questions, the more this whole situation started looking messy. One cousin of Hugo, who also lives there, told detectives she was shocked at the idea that her own family member could be tied to something so awful. But at the same time, she admitted Hugo had been acting strange in the weeks before Dacara's death. She said she barely saw him around anymore, and when she did, it just wasn't the same old Hugo. She even confessed that she told him he should come clean if he knew anything. And honey, if that wasn't enough drama inside one house, listen to this. While police were still digging into the case, federal immigration agents showed up at the home the very next morning. This time, they didn't come for Hugo. They came for the cousin's husband, and they arrested him right then and there. Now she swears up and down that her husband had nothing to do with Dacara's case and that he had fully cooperated with police. But child, she also admitted she couldn't understand why Hugo's mess suddenly triggered an immigration case for her man. Can you imagine? Losing a girl in such a tragic way, and now your own husband is locked up because of it. That house is carrying a whole storm. But back to what happened with Dacara. The heartbreaking details of what investigators uncovered later are almost too much to handle. On August 31st, just before 5 p.m., Maryland State Police got a call about a disabled car along Route 50. The car was parked on a small bridge over the South River. But baby, when troopers got there, it wasn't just the car that caught their eye. They spotted a body lying about 30 feet down the embankment. And a few days later, on September 3rd, detectives sat down with Dacara's family and told them the devastating news. It was her. Her family had to confirm her identity using not just her tattoos and jewelry, but also the horrible fact that she had severe skull and facial fractures. That's how badly she was hurt. It's the kind of detail that breaks your heart just thinking about it. The girl was only 19, the youngest of 5 siblings. And now her family is left picking up the pieces of something they can never fully understand. And the timeline of how it all happened only makes things more chilling. On August 23rd, just before 9 p.m., Dacara's father reported her missing. He said the last time he saw her was the night before, when she told him she was going to get gas and would be back soon. But she never came home. By the next day, her family was so worried that they tracked the last location of her phone using the Find My Phone app. That led them straight to her car near Jasmine Terrace and Riggs Road in Hyattsville. When they saw the car sitting there and Dacara nowhere to be found, they called police immediately. And when detectives got deeper into Hugo's house with a search warrant, the evidence they found told the real story. Inside his bedroom and even in the trash, police uncovered what they believe was Dacara's blood, a broken fingernail from her French manicure, hair, a wig, and other disturbing evidence. Honey, all of it pointed straight to Hugo. Now here's the part that really has people upset, Chile, because when the truth about Hugo's past started coming out, folks couldn't believe he was still walking free before this happened. Turns out, this man has a long history of reckless behavior behind the wheel. I'm talking multiple DUIs, open container violations, and even driving on a suspended license. And that's not all. Neighbors say he drove like the rules never applied to him, blowing through red lights, skipping stop signs, making wild lane changes, and parking anywhere he felt like. Baby, he was basically a hazard on wheels. And yet he was still out here, free as can be. Dacara's own mum said she was heartbroken when she found that out, because maybe, just maybe, if the system had done its job back then, her daughter would still be here today. But while all of that was coming to light, Dacara's family was also dealing with another ugly battle: rumors on social media. People online started pushing the idea that Dacara had been selling herself. But her mum wasn't about to let people drag her daughter's name through the mud. She described Dacara as a kind, soft-spoken, free-spirited young lady, someone who was outgoing but still full of love and goodness. She begged people not to believe everything they see online and reminded everyone to show respect to the family while they grieve. Still, even with her words, the chatter hasn't stopped, and that's made this tragedy even harder on the family. And baby, if you think that's the end of it, oh no, it gets even darker. Because whispers in the neighborhood are saying Hugo might not have just hurt Dacara. Some folks believe the underwear and lingerie police found weren't just random pieces. They might be souvenirs from other women, maybe even other missing girls from the area. Can you imagine? That rumor alone has the whole community shaking, because there have been several disappearances around there that still haven't been solved. People are starting to wonder if Hugo has been hiding secrets that go way beyond just one case. Now here's the question everybody can't stop asking. If Hugo really did this to more than one person, then who else in that house knows the truth? Did his roommates hear more than they're letting on? Did the family living with him see something but decide to stay quiet? Baby, the evidence is piling up, but the silence inside that house is just as loud. And with Hugo sitting in jail without bond, waiting for his next court date, the community is left holding its breath. Because what if the rumors are true? What if the lingerie and underwear in his room point to more victims? What if Dacara's case is just the beginning of something much bigger? Stay glued, like, share, and subscribe for more juicy celebrity news.